Michelle Alexandria, and Baron Jean-François Cavalier.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So
Hey, Sarah de Master.
oh wait,
wait.
your moderator, Sarah de Master, at your service. So we're going to be talking mainly about distribution in the independent film world. And Jean-François, we were speaking earlier, and you were telling me, well, hold on, let me tell you about independent film. You were saying I'm about to produce an independent film. You're like, oh, well, independent doesn't mean anything. Can you tell me about
Right
that?
away, we start like that?
Yes, right away.
No, it's a good point though. And a lot of people don't realize that. You will hear, everybody's like, oh, I'm making an independent film, as opposed to what? Studio film? It doesn't mean anything. Titanic was an independent film. It was not a small budget, if you remember Titanic, right? Independent studios, what people don't realize, studios raise money, as any producer trying to raise money to make their film. They're doing the same job, except they're raising much more money. So independent versus studio film doesn't mean anything. So remember that. That's what I'm saying. And not many people keep on saying, I was the first one. I'm making an independent film. Well, Titanic was an independent film, so you know. That's what I'm trying to explain, the little difference between the two terms, you know.
So I guess maybe we're thinking, oh, independent, it's a smaller budget.
It's different. If you say small budget,
Yeah,
okay,
small budget.
that
Okay,
works.
that's-
That works.
that's a different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, Larry, did you want to
Yeah,
touch on that?
I'll be the same way. I think I don't really use an independent word at all. I use that producing the film, and it's going to be a great film, and that's what it is. I'll praise a great film, but I don't use the term independent.
Oh, so that has a negative connotation.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, because studios, you might know more than me, but studios don't really respect independent producers. I've had meetings with Netflix recently. Say, don't say that word. Yeah, it's a bad word.
You see, now you know.
Always learn something, eh?
Yeah.
Some of the independent filmmakers I know are actually proud to be independent filmmakers. So that's an interesting, different way of seeing things. Michelle, thank you for coming here. Michelle is on her way to Rome in just a few hours, so thank you so much for making it.
Oh, thank you.
And you have a strong background in finance. You started at Jaguar, and then you went to film school, acting school, and fell in love with film and wanted to go into the financing and production aspect of film. And can you tell us about how, we'll go right into this recent film you're working on, Maserati, the Brothers.
Okay.
What's your involvement in that, and how did that come about?
So I'm not officially a producer on that right now. Maybe I will be, but I am bringing in, in the independent film world, which I have a very different opinion of the independent film. I don't want to challenge my two.
Let's hear it. That's great.
But I'm bringing in a very small amount, which a lot of us shoot independent films for those budgets, and I'm bringing that to the table. So I am flying out to Rome in a few hours, and it's with Al Pacino and Anthony Hopkins. And it's directed by Bobby Moresco, so it will be out in 2,000 theaters, and you will definitely see and hear of it because it will very likely be nominated for the Academy. So it's the most magnificent film I've ever been involved with.
You're gonna shoot there? In Houston?
They're shooting now in Rome.
Okay. See the cheetah.
Je suis en retard.
That's en retard.
I'm a little late.
Right.
So.
That's cool.
But I'd like to say on the independent film world, speaking as a, well, I'll just say this so it's very clear where my point of view comes from. When I teach in film schools, I always say that there's the very beginning process of a film, which is your idea. You put it into a script, and then there's the end process where it's in a theater or streaming and it's released to the audience. And from that very beginning point to that very end point, I would say filming, no disrespect to the best director here, but filming is 5% of the process. Anybody who's tried to get financing, who tries to get P&A, who tries to get the distribution deal, there's a lot of business going on. And I usually am dealing with the very beginning part, which is getting the marketing tools, getting the financing, getting the team together, and then they walk away, they make their movie, and then I come in the end, and we're working on distribution, getting the film out there. And I see a very big difference from studio pictures, which I love, and independent films. And as soon as I hear the word indie film, I think what's the biggest difference between a studio and an indie film? P&A, marketing. They have the resources. They can make $100,000 movie, put $10 million into marketing, and buy into your consciousness to make you want to see that movie.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot do that as independent filmmakers. We have a $500,000 budget,
That's
and
it.
we have to reverse engineer and back into that film, as we know, and say, okay, this is all we can afford. And 99.9% of the time, the marketing is not involved. So this is where I have to talk to the filmmakers and say, great, you're doing all this, you're gonna get your movie, there's a lot of pride and happiness, and oh, we're making our movie. And then I ask them, then what? What are you gonna do with your movie? How are you gonna get it out there?
Yes.
You're gonna show it to mom? Great, but there's a lot of people involved, and as a person who represents investors, I personally have, you know, a hypothetical gun to my head of, Michelle, where's my money? When do I get that money back? So the DP, they're checked out, editor, they're checked out, everybody's gone. But I have to make sure that the team made that movie in a way that I can sell it, because I don't have 10 million, 100 million, I don't even have $10,000 in marketing. I'm talking to the team saying, hey, let's get $3,000 together, let's do a little red carpet screening so we can get a little bit of press, get it a little bit out there, use social media, that's our free marketing. And every step I tell filmmakers the film process, I always have little side parentheses of marketing. So when you're even writing your script, think about what are the resources I have and how can we utilize that to market it, because me, at the end part of the process, when I'm a distributor, one of the most valuable things that a filmmaker can come to me with is the number of followers they have on a TikTok or Instagram. Your followers is a currency. And I will look at that and say, oh, there's this okay film and it has 100,000 followers, and there's this really good film that has no followers. Chances are I'm going to make money on that one, because we all watch bad movies, we all watch okay movies. Not every movie is Top Gun Maverick, not every movie is Mission Impossible. So getting it out there is already the key. So that's my difference. And I love studios, I love them, but there is a big difference to me from an independent film to a studio picture. Voilà. Sorry.
No.
Because I know it's very different. But
Well, we're kind of saying the same thing. I mean, I was just talking about, you know, the difference in budget. Some smaller budget than a studio film,
Yes.
the smart one will actually raise financing and include P&A with it.
Yeah,
That wasn't a smart one.
that should be.
Doesn't happen all the time, you know. They take the money they can to make the movie. They don't think exactly as you said. Now what?
yes.
That's I've seen this for years. Now what? And it's awful. I remember a long time ago. The example I use is I gotta remember the name. It was a $12 million budget film. That's a long time ago, so that's would be even more now.
Yeah.
Had James Spader and Melanie Griffith. And the title, I cannot put it together. But anyway, the producers filmed. You know, they made the miracle. They made the movie, everything, and then there was no what now what with James Spader and Melanie Griffith.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do. Sales agent didn't like the film. And that film, on top of that, the producers must have misallocated the funds, right? It ended up back at Comerica Bank. You know, remember the beginning of gap financing and all that?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was like a, you know, what do you call it? A staying asset. You know, like a real estate. You know, it was a staying asset. And I was just there, and I was friendly with Comerica Bank, and they said, "Do you want to try to sell that?" It was $12 million budget. And I said, sure, you know. So I went to American Film Market, and it said Comerica Bank on top of it, you know. And they said, yeah, get what you can. I was selling it to Turkey, all rights for 15 years, $3,000? Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, it's awful. It's an awful story, but it's reality, you know, sometimes. So You
And
better
that's
have.
part of what the filmmakers don't realize, what you
Exactly.
just said, when you go to AFM
Exactly.
and you ask Turkey and you say, I need, for this film, $150,000,
Yeah.
they will counter,
Oh, yeah.
Jean-François, no, we'll give you three.
Yeah.
And because he's in the position he's in, he's like, okay, I'll take the 3,000.
Because I was in that position.
Yes,
Otherwise,
and,
I'll fight.
and there's
Yeah,
not a lot
yeah.
of, there's not a lot of other Turkish buyers
no.
knocking on his door
No.
saying, hey, no, we're gonna fight
No.
for the film.
Yeah.
Even
Media vision,
even with
and
that
that's it.
cast,
Yeah,
even
that's
with
it.
that cast.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's so tough. Distribution is so tough.
and the filmmakers, they don't always realize. They say, "Where's our money? You're ripping us
Yeah.
up." No, we're not. It's just that when we make the proposal, and the other mistake I'll say, Jean-François, is that sometimes a lot of the times, the filmmakers, they get so excited to make their movie. They said, "Oh, let's put it on a festival run." No, I'm not knocking down film festivals. But then when the filmmaker goes and does the festival run, guess what's happening? They couldn't wait to get it on IMDb because you can't wait for that credit. The clock starts ticking, and now we're in 2025, and they go on the festival run, and then they come to me December 2026. Michelle, can you distribute our movie? Oh shit! So we're going into 2027 November AFM, right? And now this film is aged 2 years,
Yep.
and now I have the new movie with a newer cast, bigger, and this is like the back burner. So that's the film that I throw into the deal, and that's where we get
Package,
the,
yeah.
we package. Oh, you want to buy these two big movies? Okay, but you have to take this one with James Spader, and I'll take your $3,000, and that's how.
People don't know this. I love this. I love this story. You still do that? And it's the way we do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never changed, which is,
A lot of
sales
women
agents,
dealing,
distributors, they
yeah.
come with a bag of potatoes.
Yeah, yeah.
And the buyers come, so what you got? Well, I got 12 potatoes, and they try, and then, oh, I'd like this potato. No, you're gonna buy all, you're gonna buy all the potatoes. Oh, really? Well, the price is gonna go down. It's okay. And then the sales agent, as you know, will, depending on their deal with producers on commission, they will allocate a little higher price. But anyway, it's very complicated.
So the solution to this, the reason why we're saying this, the solution to this, to the filmmakers, is do not rush and put it on IMDb and put it in this tiny little film festival, any festival, unless it's one of the majors, and you're going to know ahead of time making the movie that you're going to submit it to Cannes, to Sundance, if you have a shot. But if you're just making your independent film, do not put it up on IMDb and then submit it to a festival. First, work on distribution.
Yeah.
Even while you're filming, even that almost is a little late. First, do that. Make your distribution deal, and then communicate with your distributor of, hey, I want to do a festival run. So now the film is not aging, and then we can plan out, oh, let's make this, right now we're in June, let's make this a 2026 film. So let's do all the work, the QC, all the stuff we have to do for the distributor, and make this a 2026 film. So we're still now going into the new year with a brand new baby, a brand new film, and now that film has the most advantage it could possibly have, right?
I completely agree. I even push the envelope, which is filmmakers, even at the screenplay level, I push. First of all, they don't know anything about distribution. You understand? It's a very, very narrow knowledge done by people who've been to markets. I've done 21 marché du film. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we've been around. It's a circus. It's always the same. And they have no idea. They don't even know how distribution works. And if you're a filmmaker, so I have a little Gallicoria consulting, that's what I do every day. I got like 50 clients. And yes, we talk about the creative, the screenplay, make it better, why, and all that stuff, which I love, but the second half of my brain always tell them, and I teach them, this is a little bit of the education I was telling you, because they do not know how it works. And it's tough. It used to be much fun. 20 years ago, you go to Cannes, I would sell like 20 films for good money to HBO Asia, the beginning of HBO Asia, Pan Asia, the rights.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone. All this is gone now. And who shuttered all that is the streamer, number one, Netflix. Ruined the entire classic distribution model, with theatrical, maybe not, okay, no problem. Video, straight to video was great.
Oh, they're a studio now.
Yeah,
Netflix is a
exactly. So
So
things
the
have changed.
solution is for the filmmakers is to start talking to sales agents or distributors
Very early.
in the early stage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the whole point of,
That's correct.
yeah, is to say the
Absolutely true.
solutions, yeah.
Absolutely true.
And then,
The-
and
the-
so
the
you don't
good
have
sales
to
agent.
master it, so you don't have to
Yeah.
master it, you don't have to know everything, you can't be, a master of all trades. But if you're the director, producer, you're an actor helping, just start finding out, like go to a film market, or start looking up online, watch videos, connect with a couple of distributors, consult with them. That's all. And then that way you're going to probably hear a lot of the same things of what we're all saying.
Yeah, just me, because so I'm a producer, UPM line producer, first, second AD, and I was going to be a sales agent, but a lot of my sales agent friends are shiesty. So I'm
No, really?
like, yeah. So I put a lot of pressure on my sales agents because in my mind I can do your job. So you can't persuade me to sign a contract, or you can't tell me you went to territories. I can verify you did your job. So I think is understanding this business from concept to sales, like you said, P&A, press and advertising, just understanding every part of the business. And normally I'm the producer people don't like, because I'm also UPM, so I hire a crew. I'm a LP, I understand the budget, so you can't pad the budget. So I'm that guy. So just I try to make sure myself, the investor has a person who they trust. I'm that person. So besides anyone else, it's the investor, or it's the studio. Directors, you can hire a director, but that relationship is important, because if that person don't make any money, then there is no more relationships. So my last movie got released on Friday. It's called Killing Mary Sue. You look it up, doing well. And based on that movie, I already raised money in like 2 days, because they understand I'm transparent. So it's not just, this movie, this actor, and give me money. It's like, what's your plan? My plan is this. MG is tax credits, shooting in New Jersey. I'm dealing with this person here. It's a whole plan to get them comfortable to give me money. So I think as a filmmaker, just understand every part of the business, not just being a creator. That's what I was saying.
I agree 90% with what you said. There's the 10% is, I have seen years after years, filmmakers saying sales agents are shysters, which by the way, a sales agent can be very dangerous, but there's still some good.
I'm good.
There's still some good. By the way, the shysters, they went out of business at one point because the model doesn't last.
Yeah.
That model, by the way, was invented by a guy named Harvey Weinstein, or the Harvey Learners of the world, meaning that the sales agent always win, producer always lose. But I'm not going to get into this. It's fun though. But there's still some good sales agent. Yeah. By the same token, filmmakers, I've seen them. I don't trust sales agent. Okay. I'm going to go to American Film Academy in Cannes. I'm going to be selling my movie.
Ridiculous.
It turns into a joke, because distribution is something that you cannot invent. You have to know the buyers. That's what you do every day. And I've seen them, and it's ridiculous, because the buyers, at first the buyers don't even go see them. This like, come on, I'll go see the guy I know, sales agent, who does that for a living, I'll go see you, So I agree, but you know what I mean, there's a little bit of...
Well, let's make a prime example. So my movie was an AFM. Like, I had my sales team. I had an international sales agent and a domestic sales. So 2 separate sales agents, because if one screws up, I'm still making money with this. So I went to AFM, I saw my poster, I said, can I see one poster? So I went in my car, and I had 5 posters, and I posted around AFM. I said, you should have been doing this. Now, granted, they had 5 other movies. I don't care about them much, about my movie. So promote my movie. So every 5 minutes, my house on my movie. I was going good. Okay, be back. I'll walk around and bring people to them. Talk to them, please.
And they must hate you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but by doing that, we got sales.
Good.
So I'm like, now it's more of a partnership with my sales team. So I'm going here and work the floor and bring it back to you. Then you work this client. Most filmmakers don't do that. They walk around, have to take pictures, Facebook. don't really care, Instagrams, and wonder why your movie's failing because you're not really involved in strategy. So, yeah. So
Can you
it's-
touch on, Larry, on your marketing strategy? I mean, you have a track record of doing like a brand strategy for the films.
Yes.
Can you talk about how you did for
Yeah,
Kill and Mary
yeah,
Sue, for
yeah.
example?
So Kill and Mary Sue is a movie we shot, kind of low budget, like 1.2. So like they mentioned before, I went and spoke to my sales agent, one I'm friends with. Took them out to dinner with friends. So it's not just business, more like with friends, their kids. So I'm like, make sure this movie does well, please.
International, domestic.
International.
Do you care to share over there or no? It's okay.
Yeah.
Keep on going. Sorry.
Exactly. So far as doing that. So also I used to work in the alcohol business. So like I'll win film festivals because I would sponsor events. Then I would tell the film festival I have to win a movie. I win an award, and I'm not going to sponsor it. I'm sorry. So I'll make sure I won an award. I just that's what it was. So I'm playing the game like everyone else. By me doing that, I met so many people in the space, like marketing people, PR people. So I always think partnerships all the time. So I have a publicist, we're partners. If this movie does well, it's gonna hopefully help out your career. If it do not do well, I'll make sure people know you didn't do your job. And I put pressure on everyone. If I wasn't doing this, I'll probably be a cop. So like my friends are FBI agents, to be honest with you, in politics and politicians. So I kind of use just strategies and partnerships and getting everyone excited. So like Dermot Mulroney's in my movie. Paid him no money for marketing at all. So he's been doing Instagram posting with nothing. So my one friend, he hired him for a lead. He did one posting for him, 10 postings for me. He said, well, Larry, what was the difference? I said, because I gave a damn about this guy. I cared about the actor. So I gave him his script weeks before we shot. So he made sure he knew all his lines, and he showed up and he rocked and rolled. Compared to most movies, you give them a script maybe 2 days, they don't know their lines, they screw up, they're mad at you, and it's a bad relationship. So it just having a partnership with actors, agents, sales agents, publicists, that's what I always do. And you might spend some money, which is considered payola. So I might say, hey, here go $500. Yeah. Well, thank you, Larry. Go pitch my movie, please. And then little things like that, because even now this business is so difficult right now to sell movies right now. It's so horrible. Which mentioned before, like my movie, Netflix offered us budget was 1.2. They offered us $850 buyout, which
worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. But we're gonna lose money. So the budget is 1.2. Gonna give me $850. I don't want that deal. 6 months later, it dropped to $450 recently. A huge drop. So, everyone's excited. The filmmaker, oh my God, Netflix. Like I said earlier, I'm like, we're losing money. I don't care about this Netflix deal. But people don't care about, once again, the investor. So because we didn't do that deal, she greenlit 2 movies for me now, like already got financed, based on me caring about the investor. The director lost that opportunity because he didn't care about the investor. So that's what I mean. It's playing chess every day, and people trusting you. That's how I am. So like, I'll like if a person gave me a bad deal, I would tell the investor it's a bad deal. I wouldn't care about even my producing partner. I was like, bro, it's a bad deal. I'm gonna tell her. No, don't tell her. Why? Don't do the deal.
And Netflix, you told them, what budget did you announce to them? The real one? Or?
Yeah, the real one.
And you didn't say, come on, give me 1X?
Yeah, I tried, but they don't care. Like
Don't care?
I mean, they
Would you have taken the 1X?
Maybe, but it just based on the investor was so stressed out because she put in money, and I knew if we took less than that, it wouldn't open more doors for me to get her to finance. I said, let's not do that. And then she said, okay, I love you, Larry, go more money. I said, thank God. So, you know, so
So
you
is
can
your
be
film
excited.
sold domestically yet or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Which?
Domestic was Samuel Goldwyn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Theatrical? No.
no theatrical.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You know,
Good.
you know, but it's still, like I said, like I was excited at first, you know, but now I'm not excited. And then also have a Western. You know, my Western came out through Lionsgate. They still owe me money. Oh, but so I thought I'm excited. I put in my own money. I put in $100,000. I'm owed $100,000 for like a year. So I might have to file a lawsuit against Lionsgate.
You broke the golden rule. You put your own money.
I
Your
did.
money.
Exactly. You know,
That's
you know,
the
you know.
golden rule.
Yeah.
You know, but I think like going back to distribution, I was excited about this Lionsgate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Is it Lionsgate or Grindstone?
Grindstone.
Yeah. When the small labels, all right.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, but like I said, I'll get it back. But just don't get too excited with the deal. I don't care if it's Universal, Sony. Don't get too excited with the deal.
But take 2x or 3x from Netflix if you
Yeah,
offer
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. You know, also the fact I have a great lawyer.
You know what I mean by 2x or 3x, right? Your budget is, you know, you spend $5 million and they come to you with, okay, we'll take the world for 15, take it and run, you
Yeah.
know, and make your next movie. It happens. You'd be surprised. It happens.
And Michelle, your company is Lightyear Pictures, and in the context that you were mentioning earlier, key components of your marketing strategy, you mentioned red carpets and digital media as well. Are there any other key components that you focus on?
Yeah, it's a great question, Sarah. One of the things that I tell filmmakers to do, it's, you know, let's say you're going to Cannes and you have a film, your film's not getting into Cannes because you're not Ken Loach or Spike Lee, but you can rent a theater, guys. 500 euros, do your own little marketing, you could post it on Facebook, everywhere. My films, I'm going to Cannes, my film's in Cannes.
Yeah.
And it's screening in Cannes.
Yeah.
And you can do that. Yeah, it's a fun little trip, right?
Okay.
So it's something that I tell filmmakers, you know, and it doesn't have to be Cannes, it could be, you know, any other festival that you can get yourself to, but the problem is you can't tell somebody like me like that where I'm gonna say, oh my God, I had one friend say, yeah, Michelle, my film, it got into the short film corner. I said, well, all films get into the short film corner if you submit it, you know. Oh, well, yeah, so I'm going. I said, no, that's great, but just when you're talking to me, there's certain people that know, but that's great if you market that. You get your film out there, and funny enough, I ended up selling his short.
Sold a short.
I sold a
Wow,
short.
that's great.
And now, and guess
I
what?
sold a short.
Wow.
Well,
Your
from
car,
the
that's
for film corner.
So the short
The same company.
the short that I'm
No,
on with you?
10 years ago.
Oh, the other.
Isn't it like there's like two companies that buy shorts in New York or something? They give you $4,000 or $2,000. Is that
There's
it?
so there's a
Okay.
company in England, and
Oh,
they
England,
saw the film and they contacted me. So since then, I've been in business with them now for 15 years. And anytime you're short, I remember. I'm trying to,
My recent short.
yeah, with
Yeah.
Big League
Yeah.
Big League Junior.
Yeah.
And now I sell the films to them, and it's primarily for like airlines and stuff.
That's great though.
So yeah, they give
That's
like
fantastic.
That's amazing.
$300
Yeah.
a minute, so it's not really it's not your traditional sales, it's more about the number of minutes.
You sold a
But
short.
you know
You're my
what?
hero.
Oh, no. I sold like 100.
Yeah, she sold 100 shorts.
That's insane.
Yeah.
What?
Did you guys start?
You started like
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, people.
That is so
Being
weird.
filmmakers.
Good job.
Yeah, okay,
Good
okay.
job,
Yeah.
Michelle.
I was wondering, I said, if that door is closed, I bet they're all
No, I
wondering.
checked it was open. So
I mean, but it's not
Yeah.
cracked open, they're not gonna know.
I mean, and we're coming to a close, but
Can I ask
yes,
a question?
Of course.
Do we know with the audience what they do? So, you know, because maybe we're not addressing their questions or whatever. You guys filmmakers? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
Filmmaker.
They're all
All right.
filmmakers.
All right.
All filmmakers. Yeah.
All right, good. So all we said, all
Yeah,
we talked
it's,
about
Any
is
chefs?
Actually.
Two of them here.
The Sherry's.
So let me give you one example recently. So I'm not a sales agent by no means. So a friend of mine shot a movie for Lifetime. She did a Lifetime movie. She spent $450 grand. She had 4 producers, that got a deal, I think it was Nicely or Nicely. Okay, well, I was like, no. Because
I love
it was a
them.
10-year
Two
deal.
women, right?
It was a 10-year
Three
deal.
women, nicely, right? One is French,
Yeah, but Scott Fitzpatrick,
Oh,
he runs
okay,
it,
okay.
and it's a
Sorry.
lot of
Okay,
Christmas,
okay,
good
go ahead.
Christmas
Well,
movies.
fine movie, but 10 years to me seemed very long, and no money up front. So I reached out to Lifetime, and got an MG. Well, got them to license for $250,000. And I'm not a sales agent. I just called Lifetime, and then Nicely got pissed. Who's this Larry Layfield guy calling Lifetime? I said, well, because you offered them no money, I went and got her $250,000. So sometimes it's just making the call. That's all it is. And I think sometimes we think it's too difficult to make the call. Like,
But can I say one thing in there?
Yeah,
Nicely
over here.
thank you.
would have also contacted Lifetime and booked the film
Don't worry.
to make that deal. Because that's what sales agents do.
If you do that,
And
yeah,
they are a good company,
Yeah.
very integrous.
yeah,
So his job is to make the deal. Now, that's great what you did, because then you don't have to give them that
exactly.
20%
Yeah,
or 30%.
Yeah.
But this is something I always say to filmmakers who want to do it their own way and not through a sales agent. You're going to the court, you're up for murder, you are welcome to represent yourself. You don't have to have an attorney. But it's not bad to have an attorney who does this for a living. So I like his way. I am doing too many films to take that risk. I'd rather give that responsibility to companies that I trust and know. And hey, can you call Lifetime, or can you call my friend at, or if you have a relationship, because try doing a deal with China. I have to do all the notary paperwork, all this and that. Do you, the filmmaker, want to do that? But we are built 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, to do all of that. So there's the good way of doing it the way Larry is saying, and then there's also the traditional way with the sales agent, if it's a good company. But
Yeah.
Nicely, they are a great company. If you have like that good Christmas movie, family movie, they're a very boutique company. So he has a higher caliber of film. But if you have that $300,000 Christmas movie, and this is your first, second, third film, and you don't know anybody at Lifetime,
Yeah.
then you have that team, and they are going to go to every film market. They're not going to get the big, huge booth for billions of dollars and waste all your money. They get a small little boutique booth, but they have the relationship with the buyers, and they're the ones like pitching to Amazon, pitching to Netflix, pitching to Lifetime, and they're doing that on your behalf. So there is the good on all sides.
Yeah, so for me, it's just, I have to get some money in return. Like you mentioned the short, I have to get your car because that's amazing. But if money is spent